Hi everyone, I just want to go over the Works Cited page. It is the last page of your essay, and so when you're done with the Works Cited page, you are done with your entire essay and you can submit it into Turnitin. So the Works Cited page, just a few notes about it. So this first bullet point says it's the last page, so it goes at the very end of your essay, and it needs to be its own separate page, so it shouldn't be on the page with your other body paragraphs, your conclusion. It needs to be on its own individual page at the end. All of the sources that you put into your Works Cited page need to be in the MLA8 format. If you took it from the database, it's already in that format, which is the nice thing about using the database. But if you did not get the source from the database, so if you went on Google and you got it from a different website, then you actually need to take the URL of that website. So usually whatever is here up here at the top, you need to take that URL and you need to put it into easybib.com or mybib.com, and you need to actually turn it into a formal MLA citation. All your sources need to be in alphabetical order by whatever the first letter is. So that could be the first letter of the last name. It could be the first letter of the article title. So it needs to be in alphabetical order by the first letter that comes up on the source. Of course, it should be in Times New Roman, right? The regular standard font. It should be 12-point font, so nothing big, nothing bolded, nothing wacky. So it should just be, formatted correctly. And then it needs to have what we call hanging lines. And I'll show you a little bit about what that looks like when we look at the example here. The last thing to check is that your works cited citation, so whatever is at the last page, it needs to correctly match with your in-text citations. So if you used, the author's last name in the in-text citation inside your paragraphs, then the author's last name should also be the first thing that we see in the works cited page. If you used the author's last name, but it's actually the article in the works cited at the end, then you need to make sure that they match each other. So let me just show you what this looks like, okay? So this is my example essay, and this essay obviously is not done yet, but yours will be done. At the end of the essay, you want to go to the next blank page, right? You want to go to a last page. You don't want to type by the conclusion. You want this to be on its own page. So the first thing you want to do is you want to give it a title. So we always center titles, so you want to center it, and then you just want to type works cited because this is your works cited page. The little cursor, the blinker, will go back to the center, but you don't want it there, right? You want it over on the side because we don't want our sources to be centered, only the title. So then you're gonna go to your notes and you're gonna take your works cited that you copied already. So again, this came from the database. I can see right here it says ProQuest. So this one is from the database, so it's already in MLA format. So I just have to copy it and move it into my works cited page. So what you'll notice is this is not in Times New Roman, so I want to make sure that I move into Times New Roman, and I want to make sure that it's 12-point font. Okay. All right, so that's my first citation. After that, you enter and you get ready for your next citation. This is my next citation here. So again, I just copy it from the works cited page and I paste it. And again, I just want to make sure that it's 12-point font and that it is Times New Roman. What you'll notice is that this source starts with a G, so it goes before this source, which starts with an N. So again, everything is in alphabetical order. If I go to my third source here, I'll see that it starts with the W because it starts with the name Williams. And so that's perfect because W comes after N, right? So this will come after the New York Fashion Week article. Okay, so everything just has to be in alphabetical order, okay? So you want to make sure that these are all in alphabetical order. If my next source starts with an A, then I would put it at the top here above the G source. But if the next source is not, then it can go wherever it's supposed to be. So everything needs to just be in alphabetical order. So for example, this source starts with A. The last name is Allen. And so it actually needs to go up here at the top because it is alphabetically supposed to be ahead of all the others. Okay, so again, I just make it Times New Roman, put in 12-point font, perfect. So I do this for all my sources. So at the end, you should have a total of 6 citations here. What you'll see is that it needs to match whatever I have in my in-text citation. So for example, in my in-text citation, I use this last name, Gvon, and I also have that as the first thing here. So they have to match each other, okay? How do you do a hanging indent? So what a hanging indent means is that this first line here is the only line that should be touching the left-hand side. Everything else down here needs to actually be pushed or tabbed over. So how it works is you go to the end of your first line, because your first line is the only line that should touch the left side. You go to the end of the first line, you press enter, and then you'll see your little blinker goes down to the bottom here. That's how you know that you're ready to press this this button right here that says increase indent. You'll see it's a little arrow right here that's kind of pointing to the right. If you click that, it will move everything after the cursor over. And that's what it means when it says that your citations need to be hanging, okay? So only the first line should be on the left side, and then everything else needs to hang over. So again, I'll do that again. So again, only the first line should be touching the left-hand side. So I go to the end of the first line, put my cursor here. I press enter. That will move my cursor down here. And once I see my cursor is down here, I just press this indent button. And again, it just moves everything over. So that's what it should look like. And so you just do that a few more times. And then you're ready. Okay, so this is what your final works cited should look like.